Let's now discuss this with the regional attorney and law professor Salam Abdul Samad. Many thanks for joining us on the programme this evening. So Hamas is saying that its leaders survived the strike, although 6 people were killed. Israel, however, claims the attack was a success. What's your reaction to these conflicting reports?
First of all, for now, we don't have precise information and confirmed news and updates about what happened exactly in Doha. But in both ways, whether it was a successful operation from Israeli side or an escape from Palestinian side, from Hamas side, in both ways, this is an attempt and aggression to the international law, to the international community, to the United Nations Charter. And finally, which is the most important, this is an attempt on Qatar's state of Qatar's sovereignty, which is unacceptable and could lead also to instability in the region, all the region, as well as in the world, because it's not acceptable at all to see that one state could bomb here, could punish leaders anywhere without any follow-up from the international community and also from the national security, etc. So here the situation is critical, and we have to wait to see what will be the consequence, the bad consequence of such aggression.
And this attack came with US approval, apparently. The US was apparently aware of the Israeli strike on Qatar, despite Doha being a key regional ally of Washington. Why do you think the White House would allow such an attack?
This is an important question. We have to know, especially that the leaders who have been met in Doha today, they were discussing the proposal of President Trump to make a ceasefire successfully throughout Gaza. So they were meeting for this purpose, and for sure they were supported by U.S. government, by U.S. president, in order to discuss later on with Israel how they stop the fire, they stop the aggression in Gaza and go to the peace. Suddenly, all the leaders over there have been bombed and have been killed or assassinated or what else from Israel, which really it's an irresponsible and irresponsible act from Israeli side.
So what do you think comes next? Now that Qatar has denounced the strike, what further consequences could there be for Israel? Do you expect to see any international sanctions against Israel, perhaps?
It should be this way. It should be, because we cannot accept to keep Israel out of any sanction, whether international sanction or also sanction from the international justice. As we know, we have 2 great courts which are specialized to deal and to punish such acts, like International Justice Court and International Criminal Court. Where are they? Why they are not intervening? Where is the role of the national security? Where is the role of the international community? We are seeing the reaction of the GCC, of UAE. They, all of them, condemned strongly what happened in Doha and asked Israel to stop such aggressions, as well as to see how we can punish Israel and invite her and invite the state of Israel to not make any other action, to not make any other aggression, because it will lead to a disaster, it will lead to instability throughout the region and even worldwide.
And meanwhile, the IDF continues its onslaught in Gaza, of course, and the British government has officially claimed that Israel is not committing a genocide in Gaza. Let's just take a listen to this.
The crime of genocide occurs only where there is specific intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial or religious group. The government has not concluded that Israel is acting with that intent.
That was the British Deputy Prime Minister speaking there. What do you make of this conclusion, which comes as the UK prepares to recognise Palestine as a state at the UN?
As we can understand, that there is a double standard, and unfortunately also a double face while we are treating with some countries. For example, what can another state could do in such situation? It should be punished, while, for example, another side, so it will be considered as not a crime of genocide. Really, we are facing, as I said before, a kind of a double standard, a kind of impunity in terms of international law, and all of this situation will not be understood well by the international community, and the international law should be intervened, should be applied strongly without any exception, including Israel, because really there is on the territory of Gaza and Palestine a crime of genocide. Whether this is the attitude of UK, of Europe, of US, there is a genocide. The elements of genocide are reunited clearly without any hesitation.
We hear plenty of condemnation. Even the UN Secretary General has condemned the Israeli attack, calling it a flagrant violation of Qatar's territorial sovereignty and integrity. But where's the action? Is there anything else the UN can do to affect the situation in the region?
In fact, we expect more and more from the United Nations, because after 1945, and when we stopped the Second World War, the United Nations played a crucial role in order to establish the peace worldwide. And this role remains, and still. However, what's happening now, we have to pose a question whether United Nations can continue this way, because it's not able to make any stop for Israeli aggressions. So we have to ask why United Nations is doing this way, why there is no condemned action, there is no strong intervention from United Nations against Israel and against such aggressions. Otherwise, it will lead to catastrophic, not just in the region of the Middle East, but even worldwide. So we have to invite the national security and the United Nations to intervene strongly in order to stop any attempt on the international peace, and mainly on the sovereignty of the states, like what happened with Qatar today.
So where does this leave the prospect of further negotiations between Israel and Hamas? Because this attack from Israel reportedly came as a number of top Hamas officials were in Qatar to discuss a US proposed deal on Gaza. What's the message from Israel here? Is the message we're done negotiating?
It's clear, the message is clear, that Israel doesn't want to make any negotiation leading to the peace. So Israel doesn't want to establish the peace, to stop the fire, to arrive to a ceasefire in Gaza. It wants to eliminate Hamas. It wants to eliminate Hamas leaders, whether inside Gaza or outside. So this is a clear message for USA, for the region, for the world in general, that no peace is near from Israeli side, and Israel will continue till to see Hamas destroyed completely. It's easy.
I really appreciate your time this evening. Many thanks for joining us. Regional Attorney and Law Professor Salam Abdul Samad, thank you.
Thank you.